That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Welcome to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This week is episode 31, and we are on the highway to hell. I'm Mike Prue, along with JV. JV, how you doing this week?
Doing well this week, dude. Got a lot going on. Got a lot going on around here, huh?
The Boston Sports,
the Bruins.
Yeah, the Boston sports world.
Boston sports world is on fire.
Except for the Red Sox.
Don't count the trash Sox. The Red Sox right now.
Just coming off a World Series and then shit in the bed.
Yeah, talk about letdown.
I don't care if it's a long season. They fucking suck right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is just, it's unacceptable.
Yeah. No goddamn good. So hopefully the Bruins will pull it out tonight. By the time you listen to this, you'll already know. But it's happening right now.
It's happening. Game 7 in Boston.
The Celtics sweep, too.
Yep.
That's nice. So, yeah. It's been a while since we got to brag a little bit about Boston sports. Since the Patriots.
Yeah, it's been a few episodes. Yeah, so
it's been a couple
get to
months.
Pound our chest a little extra tonight.
All right, so we got some good shit in store. We got the build-up that we've been going on. Been on this highway to hell for a long time. It feels like we've been talking about this storyline for, I don't know, like 2 months.
Yeah, this one's really kind of dragged out.
Yeah, it's the whole summer. Like June of 98 through July. Now finally into August, all of August. So we last left off last week. Undertaker and Stone Cold lost their titles. And McMahon might be happy about that, and that's what Austin's going to come out and say when we get into this first episode of Raw. So you ready to get right into it?
I'm ready.
All right,
we're already at Raw 273, is it?
Yeah, Raw 273. It feels like yesterday we watched Raw 200.
Yeah,
when they first started using the ramp and the Titantron. That was freaking 73 episodes ago. We just breezed through it.
Yeah, now they're up over 1,000 current day, right?
Right.
Crazy.
All right, so this is Raw 273 from August 17, 1998, and I didn't take a note of where the hell it was. I feel like they didn't show it, but I didn't go back to bother to take a look. Did you happen to check out where this Raw was?
No, I didn't. I noticed you didn't have it in the notes, but I didn't really catch them. I watched most of this Raw too, and I didn't catch them actually mention it at all.
Yeah, I didn't notice the graphic at the beginning like they usually would show.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, who cares? If we get it, then we'll say it. But if not, then who cares?
If you care, bitch about it.
If you were
bitch
there,
to us on Twitter about it.
Yeah. If you were there, tweet us and say, I care. I was there. That was the best night ever.
I care. Hashtag I care.
Yeah. So it's going to start with Austin, and he's going to come out and cut a little promo for about 4 minutes. So take a listen to that, and then we'll talk about it after you take a listen.
Somebody, JR!
Once I told you, you had 60 seconds to get your ass out here, so you might as well come on down, because if you don't, I got 23 more beers, and I'll drink every one of the some bitches right here in the ring until you get out here.
I think he means it, JR. Oh, he means it. If he says something, he means it.
Somebody go over to my hearse and bring me another damn beer, because I ain't going nowhere, Vince, until you bring your little yellow carcass right out here right now. Security guy, you know.
Wait a minute. Pat Patterson. not Mr. McMahon.
You're a pathetic excuse for Vince McMahon, I'll tell you that right now.
Who does Austin think he is anymore? Look, here comes Gerald Briscoe.
I believe there's got to be a jackass behind curtain number 3. Now come on down.
Whoa, he was right. Commissioner Slaughter, another one of Mr. McMahon's.
Somebody bring me another damn beer because it's going to be a long night.
Austin is getting very impatient. Wait a minute. And here comes Mr. McMahon. Here we go, JR. Something's going to happen.
You're damn right. Get your ass down here.
He's not coming by himself. Mr. McMahon's a very bright human being, as we all know. He's got plenty of security. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. McMahon will be on AOL Live this Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Keyword WWF. Mr. McMahon live on AOL this Thursday night.
Come on in the ring.
He's got to get out of here live first.
Like a damn peacock because I'll break your little knees. You're starting to piss me off. Get in here.
Strutting like a peacock. He can't talk to Mr. McMahon that way, can he? Well, he is.
Oh, isn't that special?
Stone Cold
Go
Steve
ahead and
Austin.
kiss his ass while he's bent over.
Oh. JR, that's not right. Last time we saw Austin on Raw, he and The Undertaker lost the tag titles.
I guess you're real happy you got what you wanted last week because me and The Undertaker are no longer tag team champions, and I guess that puts a real big smile on your face.
Not really. Not really.
Of course, not really. You're so full of crap, it's unreal. But see, that's okay with Stone Cold Steve Austin because it means that Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker are no longer bound together because of tag team gold. We're no longer bound together for no reason at all, and that's just fine and well with me because I don't trust anybody and I don't like to depend on anybody. When I sat there on the corner of the ring and I always had The Undertaker tag me so I'd go in there and clean up his mess. That's all over with. And I'll say this. The Undertaker says that I pissed him off. Son, Stone Cold Steve Austin was born pissed off. You said that I had 1 foot already in the grave. Well, right here tonight, what I'm gonna do in this ring is pull that foot out of the grave and put it in your ass.
You know, The Undertaker could be listening to this. He's scheduled to be here.
To let you know exactly what SummerSlam is going to be like. And before it's all said and done, I'm going to beat his ass in this ring, stuff him in that hearse. And if you get in my way, if you care to bother me while I'm doing my work in this ring, I'll stuff your ass in that hearse right now, and I'll chauffeur all 3 of us right down the highway to hell, 110 miles an hour, and that's all I got to say, you sorry son of a bitch. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
JR, he said that hearse is for The Undertaker. Man, what a volatile way to start off Raw.
All right, so the show's starting off with Austin. He's trying to get into McMahon's office. He's yelling that Vince needs to come down to the ring. And then later on, Austin's going to back up a hearse into the arena after the commercial break. And then he heads into the ring. He tells McMahon that he has 60 seconds to get down here. And he'll stay out there as long as he can, as long as he wants to, just like he has before. A few times already he's done this, taking Raw hostage. And he says he has 23 more beers to drink, and he can wait. And then you get the Stooges like one by one starting to come out. You have Patterson and Briscoe, And then he says, I believe there's got to be a jackass behind curtain number 3. Now come on down. But Sergeant Slaughter pops out instead. So he says, someone get me another beer because this is going to be a long night. And then McMahon finally does make his way down. No music at this point still, but making his way down, strutting. And Austin's response to it is great. He's like, stop strutting like a damn peacock because I'll break your little your damn little knees. You're starting to piss me off and get in here. I just love when he says like little because he makes it seem like he's like a little kid. And he's like, I'll break your damn little knees.
Yeah, it's funny because I pictured McMahon's knees like little, like tiny, like little kid knees, like right. Frail and fragile and.
Right, he's got this big upper body and then little tiny knees. Doesn't do leg day.
Yeah, skips leg day every day. Like, dude, throw some squats in there. A little leg presses, something there, Vince. Come on. That's why he wears baggy pants.
Right. So as he's trying to get in the ring, Briscoe is going to hold the rope open for him. And so Austin, well, isn't that special? Why don't you kiss his ass while he's bent over?
He is such a brown noser.
So he goes on to talk to McMahon and says, I guess you're real happy. You got what you wanted because me and The Undertaker are no longer tag team champs. And I guess that puts a real big smile on your face. So McMahon says, oh, really? Like, yeah, right, bullshit.
Then he's got a shit-eating grin right after he says it. He's like, not really. And then it's like he's trying to hide his smile, but it's you can see he's fucking smiling.
Right. And even Austin's going to call him out and says, you're so full of crap, it's unreal.
Yep.
So Austin will go on. Says, we are no longer bound together, which is fine because I don't trust anybody. DTA. I don't have to get tagged in and clean up his mess. So he even gives him a little jab there. Like, I had to go in and save the matches, which I didn't think was very true. But good little line.
Yeah, he's a little salty.
Yep.
A little agitated.
But it says, Undertaker said I done pissed him off. Well, Stone Cold Steve Austin was born pissed off.
Picture little baby Stone Cold all
angry. All pissed off. Not shaking his head.
Eyebrows all pissed off and shit.
But
it's of course a goatee.
Yeah, baby with a goatee. It's like those, like, I don't know, those posters where babies are dressed as adults. You ever see those? Baby's like wearing like sitting at a piano with the hat on, like it's playing the piano.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, or there's like that meme that goes around, and it's like the baby in a little tux and act like he's bossing people around. Oh, you've seen that one, but
I haven't seen that one. But yeah, so that's what I'm picturing too.
Baby. Quit trying to fucking make babies adults. They're fucking babies. Dress them up in like little fucking, little one pieces and shit and
onesies.
Bibs. What they're supposed to be wearing. Don't be putting them in fucking suits. The fuck?
With shiny shoes.
Yeah. Let him be a fucking baby, will you? Put him in some like fucking duck boots and like a fucking Cookie Monster t-shirt.
It's funny because then these kids grow up and they were better dressed when they were babies than as teenagers or adults.
Yeah.
I used to dress better when I was 1.
Yeah. It's like, fuck, when I was a baby, I had like those fucking ugly ass white shoes that every baby had. Now you got fucking babies rocking like Jordans and shit.
Yeah, those hard ass white shoes.
Yeah, those things were like fucking.
Like you get kicked with it, you freaking get a big ass bruise.
Those are OSHA approved, like steel toe.
All right, so let's get back to this. And he's going on with Undertaker's comments about how I pissed him off, and he said I had one foot in the grave. Well, tonight I'll pull it out of the grave and I'm gonna put it in your ass. I'm gonna beat his ass in the ring and stuff him in the hearse. So he brought out the hearse and he's saying that the Undertaker is gonna go in that hearse by the end of the night. And if you try to stop me, I'll stuff your ass in there with him, and I'll chauffeur all 3 of you to the highway of hell, highway to hell. So that was a nice little comment there to add in the highway to hell. I'll chauffeur your ass there. It's pretty cool. So Austin's going to peg off McMahon right after that, and he wants to confront Undertaker later tonight. And they keep teasing throughout the night that the Undertaker is going to appear on the show. And they just, throughout the entire episode, they're teasing that. The Undertaker's not here yet, but he's going to be here. He's going to be here. And that brings us all the way to the end of the episode, where Austin and Undertaker are going to confront. So, we get a little surprise here. And what ends up happening is the Undertaker's in the ring. He has his back to Austin. But then as Austin is approaching, the Kane pyro blows. And Austin is shocked by it. And then he realizes that the Undertaker is not the Undertaker. The Undertaker is Kane. And then Kane chokeslams Austin, slams him down. And I thought that was pretty cool because now you get the little switcheroo.
No, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome, and I knew it was coming, and I was still shocked when it happened. Like, I don't know, like with the pyros hitting shit.
Yep.
So it was well played. It was good.
Yeah, and there is a little good foreshadowing that said earlier with McMahon. He says that the Undertaker and Kane are one and the same. So that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing that you never know if Kane is going to be the Undertaker or Undertaker is now Kane. So you have, you could use that same joke again that, oh, would Kane do and go to Sears and ask for the Undertaker suit? So obviously they're working in cahoots if they got each other's clothing.
Yeah.
So,
and I like how Jerry Lawler, while they're commentating, he's like, oh, he even has the matching tattoos.
Yeah, they did put tattoos on him.
Yeah, they did. They went the extra effort for it to hide it. You know what I mean?
Right, just for moments too. It's not even like
he
had to be out there long, and he was in the dark.
Because it had me thinking. I'm like, that's right. Kane doesn't have like tattoos. He doesn't have like sleeves.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
So,
all right. So as this wraps up, basically they start the battle, then they battle out into the crowd. Austin's gonna toss him into the hearse, and then he shuts the door. Pegs him off. So I thought that was good that they brought the hearse back because they introduced it in the opening segment and then it's actually used. So that's good writing. That's what you should do. If you introduce something, you're supposed to bring it back later in the story.
Yep.
So as he shuts the door, the back door, he has Kane now in the back, and he's ready to get into the driver's seat and chauffeur his ass to the highway of hell. But the door's locked. And then all of a sudden, you see the Undertaker's head turn, and then he drives off with his brother. So, awesome segment. It just shows us more that Undertaker and Kane have been working in cahoots at this point. I mean, there's got to be no question. Even though,
if you had any doubt leading up to this episode of Raw, you left this episode of Raw, you left that doubt at the door. Because there can be no more doubt that these guys are actually working in cahoots. Because they indeed are.
So the show ends at that point. Cool little segment again. I just love the head turn of the Undertaker. It's like out of a horror movie.
Yeah, it is.
And then you have Austin looking like, what the fuck just happened at the end of that show. So that concludes the Austin segments from that Raw, from Raw 273 from August 17th. But there are some side notes worthy to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into it. We got DX in the Nation. Yeah, they have a street fight, and I mean that's kind of what's been going on for a while now. Is the street fights and the battles between DX and the Nation, but they're really building up to Triple H against The Rock at SummerSlam. So they're always just going to have them continuously be involved with each other. And some of the other guys in DX are now feuding with people outside of the Nation, like X-Pac is feuding with Double J out of nowhere. That just kind of threw me for a loop. It's like, what? Why do they got problems?
Where did their beef come from?
And why is Double J like Brutus the Barber Beefcake now, trying to cut everybody's hair?
Yeah, like, that guy's gone through like 4 different character changes in the past like 12 months.
Right. Yeah, he was the NWA Jeff Jarrett when he returned, and he was totally against Double J character and shit. Then he becomes Double J again with Tennessee Lee. in Southern Justice, and now he's this "Don't piss me off"
Yeah,
Double J.
he's trying to become evolve into an Attitude Era character.
Right. Yeah, he's trying to become edgy. So that happens there, and that'll now lead us to some Val Venus. I mean, Val Venus has become a regular on our side note segments, just because I'm nostalgic for Val Venus, and I think it's funny shit that he did.
I thought he was really good. Yeah, I don't think I realized how good he was then, as much as I realize it now.
Yeah, I think he's a great worker too.
Yeah, he's great. He's a great worker. Even though I think it's the match he has at SummerSlam. That's a weird match he ends up having with the X-Pac, which I think we'll cover that in the side notes when we get there.
No, the SummerSlam match,
yeah.
D'Lo Brown, I think.
That's
right?
what it is, D'Lo Brown.
Yeah,
but that was kind of a sloppy match. But outside of like that, he's actually like a really good worker, and he's phenomenal on the mic. He's entertaining.
Yeah, he's got those one-liners and got all those.
Yeah, he knows how to sell a segment. The crowd loves him. The women love him. They get super hot for him when he comes out.
Yeah, the Attitude crowd is just nuts for him.
Yeah, big time.
And I mean, that was the cool thing back then, is to talk about dicks and tits and banging, So
yep,
everyone was all about that.
Dicks and tits jokes. Can't go wrong. That was the fucking 90s. That's what made South Park.
Right. So he comes out with this giant water gun, and Jerry Lawler calls it his love gun, which is great.
Yep.
Love gun, penis. And over the next couple of weeks, because in August of '98 you had the Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky shit going on. So they're making a bunch of jokes about that. Which is funny because they would never do political jokes today. They would never.
No. Nope.
They don't even speak really much of any pop culture on WWE. Whereas back then, if you listen to the commentary, they'll mention a bunch of different things about things just going on in culture, in society, to make jokes about.
That must be on like the restricted list now when they're
right. Exactly. They're not allowed.
I don't
to
even
talk
after Clinton. Yeah, after Clinton, had they really done it again? I don't remember them doing like.
They didn't talk about Bush.
Nope. They didn't talk about Obama, and they don't talk about Trump.
Nope.
So
they don't mention any of that. And this is at the time where they're doing like Bill Clinton, like impersonators.
Yeah, dialing in and shit. Like.
So Val Venus, he makes Bill Clinton jokes. That's why I bring that up. But which are easy at this point.
Yeah, they write themselves.
Yeah. So Val Venus is going to go through the gauntlet. He's going to go through the Kaientai gauntlet. And if he wins, he gets 5 minutes with Yamaguchi-san to beat his ass. And this is actually the main event. This is what closes the show prior to that last segment, prior to the Austin Undertaker segment. So Val Venus is on last in this gauntlet match. And he's going to make his way through all of them, except for Taka. Taka's actually going to beat him. And this is Val Venus' first loss. He loses to a friggin' cruiserweight.
Yeah.
Then he gets slapped by Yamaguchi-san's wife, which was just revealed. And I don't think we mentioned it last week, but that's Taka's sister. He's like, "That's my sister. That's my sister."
It's so funny.
Yeah, that I knew this happened with Val Venus, like this whole Kaientai shit. But I didn't know that was like his major thing.
Yeah, I know. This is like his feud.
Right. And it goes on for over a month. And it's probably like the biggest feud because I can't think of any others. I mean, I know he becomes IC champ eventually and European champ. And he's in the right to censor and all that. But as Val Venus, true Val Venus, this is his big skit. This is his big segment with Kaientai. So anyway, what happens with that love gun that comes out is he's going to use it on Yamaguchi-san's wife, and he shoots it all over her, and he stains her dress. Monica Lewinsky joke. He stains the dress, and the Super Soaker is just filled with milk, so it looks all like a cum shot. So yeah, there we go. You have the love gun. Val Venus. Then that brings us to our ever favorite Brawl for All. I feel like I shitted on it, from the start. And it still sucks, as when you look back at the whole idea of it and everything. But now I feel like I'm entertained by it. Like, it's gonna, how's this one play out? How'd that one play out?
I care more about it now than I did then.
Yeah. So
And it's actually as awful as it is, really. It's entertaining. It's like painfully good.
right.
Like you can't
there
look
is
away.
some entertainment to it, but at the expense of people getting hurt and fucking up their careers and shit.
yeah.
So in that aspect, it's like, yeah, that was not a good idea. So the match that we have here, first match in the semifinals, is the Godfather versus Bart Gunn. Yeah, we all know Bart Gunn goes on to win the whole thing, but Godfather put up a pretty damn good fight against Dan Severn and gets that spot, and now he's up against Bart Gunn. So Godfather says he's going to offer him a night with his hose because I'm not just going to kick your ass. So he's going to give him the offer. So Godfather's been doing that lately in his matches, is that he offers his opponent the hose in return for not kicking their ass. Like, all right, I won't kick your ass. Just forfeit this match and you can have a night with my hose. So
it's like, hey, you want some vagina? You want some pussy or you want to fight?
yeah.
What do you want?
You want the pussy or you want to get your ass kicked? Which one do you want?
The girl, the girl in the black, the quote unquote hoe in the black is the hottest one.
I don't remember which one's which at this point.
It was a good selection of beautiful women this time for the Godfather. Got to say that.
So Bart Gunn's going to turn those women down though, because he wants to fight. Yeah. So I found myself thinking, like, I want to watch this fight. I actually want to watch this one.
Yep, I watched it too.
Both of them were pretty solid,
Yeah.
In that first matches against Bob Holly and the Godfather against Dan Severn. So it was pretty good, actually. There was some nice lefts and rights back and forth with each other in the first round. Second round was pretty damn awesome. Godfather took like 5 shots in a row without falling down. It's like he was like a beast. Like 5 in a row. I was like, well, how the fuck is this guy standing up? And then he got knocked down right at the bell. So they even say, "Ooh, saved by the bell." So I just thought that he is legit. Like, he is the supreme fighting machine,
Yeah.
that he came in as. That was his gimmick. And it got me to thinking, like, he probably would have been fucking awesome in UFC if that's what he'd done. Like, if he just focused on that. He probably could. He's a big-ass bastard, too. He's like 5'5".
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Like 6'7".
Yeah.
300-something pounds. He's like a Brock Lesnar, basically.
Yeah, I got to give props to Bart Gunn, too, because obviously we know he wins it all.
Yep.
And, like, dude, as much as, like, I'm impressed by other guys that he's fought, like, this guy somehow keeps winning.
Right. He just keeps knocking people out, too.
And then eventually he fights, like, Butterbean.
Yeah, gets his ass kicked.
Gets his fucking ass kicked. And then he just gets, like, buried.
Right.
They don't do anything with him. You never really heard from Bart Gunn again.
Yeah, because it's embarrassing. They built him up as this, and then they
What the fuck did they think was going to happen?
Right, they got
the guy's a professional. Butterbean was a professional.
It's one thing to get a bunch of the mid-carders from the back to go out there and have a brawl, but you're going to bring in somebody trained boxer.
Yeah. Someone that practices boxing every fucking day.
Right.
Like, come on.
It's like, yeah, Bart Gunn has this nice left hook, but he's no competition for somebody that's trained.
Yeah. That's like you schooling your buddies in like a pickup game of basketball or something.
Yeah,
and then like a fucking anyone that played any kind of organized college basketball shows up at a court, and then it's like,
oh shit,
dude, you suck, bro. You got your fucking ass kicked. It's like, dude, fuck you. This guy's a professional.
But the image is you suck because you look like you sucked.
Yeah.
even though you can beat everybody else on the court.
Outclassed.
Yeah. So Godfather's gonna get knocked out early in round 3, and it just reminded me of fucking Chris Tucker from Friday. You just got knocked the fuck out. So I even put a note in there for you to play that clip, so hope you drop that in there.
Yeah, I will for sure. I ripped it already, so we're good.
Nice.
You got knocked the fuck out, man! Give me my goddamn money. The payback's a motherfucker, ain't it? Nigga.
All right, so Bart Gunn is like being a big douche too after these matches. Always going up to JR. I want some respect. I want some respect. So it's like, is he heel or is he face? What the fuck is he supposed to be? I mean, I guess he's a heel because that's what he just was as the Midnight Express. But he has like no personality.
No, none at all.
And then you get another matchup. You get Draws and Bradshaw, and not much to that, I guess.
I didn't watch this one.
Yeah, Draws is decent. And nothing really happens in the third round. Bradshaw's gonna take it. He, like I just said, though, Draws is a pretty badass dude. So it would have been cool if he had like a different gimmick where he was just a badass, not trying to be funny, doing Draws' world and puking and trying to be like this cool dude type thing. Should have just been legit badass. Probably would have gotten over.
Instead of like trying to be like an annoying frat boy.
Right. And then on the Sunday Night Heat on 8/23, there's nothing really. It's just an Austin and Undertaker recap package about what happened on the previous Raw that we just talked about, the hearse and all that. So moving on now to Raw 274, August 24th, 1998. This is the go-home show for SummerSlam from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and it is live. So this time I care where it was because I wrote it. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, live. So this is a fucking jam-packed episode. I felt like this was 3 hours, even though it was still the standard hour and a half of viewing. It just felt like so much was happening, so much was going on.
Well, it feels like the entire episode builds around the main event.
Right, yeah. There is a huge focus on Undertaker, Kane, and McMahon and all that.
Yep.
So let's get right into it. Okay, the show's going to start off with a promo with McMahon, Undertaker, and Kane. So take a listen to that, and we'll talk about it on the other end.
That is in the ring. I bet McMahon knows why the hell is hanging over our heads. The cell, I should say. And a little hell to boot.
Well, finally, Undertaker and Kane have come out of the casket.
Out of the casket!
This is the best television since President Clinton's mea culpa about a week ago. After all those lies, finally, we get to the truth. And the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, I told you so.
He did, JR. He was right all along.
Let me repeat that. The truth is, I told you so. There's no doubt that Undertaker and Kane combined make the most awesome, the most destructive force in the history of the World Wrestling Federation. And there's no doubt that with Kane at your side this Sunday at SummerSlam, there's no doubt that you don't need Vince McMahon to become the WWF champion at SummerSlam. Wow. Because let me go on record, since we're telling the truth, with or without Vince McMahon, with Kane at your side, you will be the World Wrestling Federation champion once again at SummerSlam. However, Undertaker, as you look to your reign as WWF champion, there will come a time when you need Vince McMahon.
Oh, yeah.
You need Vince McMahon for my wisdom. You need Vince McMahon for my brilliant strategy. And Undertaker, I'm talking to you.
Go. Whoa.
You will need Vince McMahon for my friendship.
Oh, man. That's right, friendship.
And so, Undertaker, I ask you, Vince McMahon, friend or foe?
Friend.
Now, before this night is over, you think about that. But before this night is over, I want an answer. Vince McMahon, friend or foe?
Here comes Paul Bearer. Where's he fit in this equation?
You ponder that.
And why is the Hell in the Cell hanging over our heads?
All right, so as JV and I said on the last recap we just did for Raw, we said that there's no doubt now that Kane and Undertaker are in cahoots. So what we see right at the beginning of this episode is Kane and the Undertaker leaving the locker room together during the opening of the show. And then right at the start of the show after the opening, you have them in the ring together. But then there's also a cell above the ring. So this is pretty shocking. Like, what the hell is the Hell in a Cell doing here again? On the highway to hell. A whole lot of hell is going on. So Vince McMahon makes his way out too. And he looks happy. Well, he should be happy because it's his birthday. So apparently his birthday is August 24th.
Yep, I actually double checked that to make sure.
It was?
Yeah, it was.
Did you look to see how old he was that year?
Then, no.
No. Well, he's in his 70s now, so it must be 50 something.
I may have written down his birthday. I didn't.
Oh, well. No biggie.
Sorry, Vincent.
He was in his 50s, 50 something. Which is crazy because he hasn't even really become the Vince that he's in matches and shit yet. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's coming soon. Just next year, 1999. So he goes out there and says, well, finally, Undertaker and Kane have come out of the casket. It's like he was calling them gay or something. Like,
yeah,
they came out of the closet.
Yeah, they came out of the closet.
They came out of the casket. This is the best television since President Clinton's May Culpa about a week ago. So that's something that Vince would never do today, is talk about the president having to say, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. Nope. So he says, after all those lies, finally we get the truth. And the truth is, I told you so. And it's funny because McMahon all along has been saying that they're in cahoots.
Yeah, he's right.
Right. And then, from there, he's going to try to kiss their ass a little bit. When together, Kane and Undertaker form the most destructive force in the history of the WWF. With Kane by your side, you don't need Vince McMahon to become WWF champion at SummerSlam. But there will come a time when you do need Vince McMahon. You need my wisdom, my brilliant strategy. And then he cuts. He goes, hey, I'm talking to you. And then Undertaker steps to him, and Vince McMahon cowers back. I thought that was a nice little touch. It was like, fuck you, don't talk to me like that.
Taker does that often. Like, Vince tries to get, like, mouthy.
Yeah.
Or, like, groan with Taker. And Taker just kind of, like, checks his ass. Yeah.
Yeah. So the big question throughout the night is that Vince McMahon wants to know, am I friend or am I foe? Before the night is over, I want you to think about that, Undertaker. I want an answer before the night is over. Friend or foe? And then you have Paul Bearer make his way down to the ring now. So this is a pretty lengthy segment. So that's why we kind of chopped it up into pieces and didn't play all of it. So we're not playing the Paul Bearer part, so we'll just briefly go over it. It's out there for a few minutes, and he wants the truth from Kane. Like, he can't believe that Kane and the Undertaker are back together. And again, Vince McMahon was right, and Paul Bearer never believed McMahon, and he's all distraught about it. So he asks Kane, son, tell me it's not true. Tell me it's all a lie, a dreadful nightmare. It's me, your father. The writing sounds like it's like some soap opera. Like,
no, it does. Sounds like Days of Our Lives.
Right, Days of Our Lives. Which is fine, because wrestling is like a soap opera, but this writing is exactly like something that would be in Days of Our Lives.
It's
I
not
always
supposed
been
to
there
sound
for
like
you.
an actual soap opera,
Right.
though.
Right. I always loved you. Something your mother didn't even do. That sleazy whore. And then Kane doesn't even really have a reaction, so I guess he's all on board with calling the mother a sleazy whore.
Yeah.
But the Undertaker is the one that's pissed off because he's the old brother, so he knows the mother more. And then Kane sticks his arm out to prevent the Undertaker from going after Paul Bearer.
Bashing
And
his
Bearer,
head in.
yeah. Well, he's gonna bash his head in a second. But Bearer, he asked Kane for one thing. Can you do one last thing for me? Destroy the Undertaker. Which makes no sense because they just joined forces with each other.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, well, can you do one more thing and beat him up, please? No.
Destroy the Undertaker!
So then Kane just turns his back on him, puts his head down like, I can't help you out anymore. Then Undertaker gives him a big boot right to the face and knocks him down. Oh, he gets tied up in the ropes, actually, and he's beating on him. Then you see Mankind come out. It's like, all right, Mankind's here to save Uncle Paul.
This is weird.
Yeah,
he
gets in the ring.
Comes out.
He gets to the ring, and he just turns his back and allows for Undertaker just to beat on him. So my thought was like, yeah, that's kind of weird, but it was probably to have them stop beating on Bearer to prevent Undertaker from kicking Bearer's ass even more. So he's kind of just sacrificing himself. Yeah,
Mankind's Uncle Paulie.
I always think of Rocky when they say Uncle Paulie.
Anytime I hear Paul or Paulie, anytime I hear Paulie, I think of Paulie from Rocky. Anytime I hear Paul, I think of Paulie, which makes me think of Paulie from Rocky. All the time. I have a buddy who I play League of Legends with. His name's Paul, and I always call him Paulie.
Hey, Paulie.
It's just I go, hey Paulie. And no one else calls him Paulie, but I do. Because I guess I'm ignorant.
He's probably
I don't know.
Why the fuck does this guy call me Paulie?
Yeah, why does he always call me Paulie?
Hey, Paulie.
He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude, though. I think he checks out the podcast once in a while.
Oh. Hey, Paulie. All right, so you have Mankind. He's gonna, like I said, he's gonna try to stop the ass kicking of Paul Bearer, and he's gonna get Spike Tombstone, which is crazy. He just takes beatings and bumps like crazy.
Yeah,
Mankind.
I mean, I used to try to defend when people would say he was just like a glorified stuntman, because even though he wasn't, when you're someone that's not in wrestling or is not into wrestling like we were or even are today,
right?
And they see this kind of shit, that's why they say dumb shit like that,
right?
Because they see him doing kind of dumb shit like he's doing,
right? If that's all they see, then fine, they can judge him on that, but. What they're not seeing is his interview segments and
how great of an act,
his promo,
yeah,
right, all his acting. Because if it was just a glorified stuntman, the stuntman is not the one acting in the movie, right? So
right. Yep,
he's beyond the stuntman. He's an actual good talent and actor.
They don't see the selling that we see, all of that, but stuff like this, it's just it's hard to defend. It's like why? It's like ugh. Now you know why they've they gotten away from that in the current product, chair shots to the head and all that stuff, because you get guys like this that just go too far with it, and it just kind of hurts their health long term, which isn't good. All
right, so he's taking that beating, that brutal spike powerbomb, well, not powerbomb, tombstone rather. That happens at 11 minutes and 57 seconds. If you wanted to check that out. And McMahon's going to remind The Undertaker that there's only one man. He's quaking in his boots. He's standing in his way for the WWF Championship. And he says it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. And once he says it, the music hits and Stone Cold's on his way out there. He's standing there with a mic. The pyro goes off right in front of him on the stage on the ramp. And he stares down at it like, what the fuck? And JR explains that Taker and Kane must have planned for the pyro, knowing that Austin would come out. I like when JR does that kind of stuff because he's giving an explanation. For people in the audience, not people in the audience, but people on the viewing audience on the TV audience might possibly be thinking, well, why would they put that there if they didn't know Austin was going to come out? So JR just says it like, oh, they must have known. They planned it ahead of time to do that. So nice little touch by JR there. So now you got Austin in the ring, and he's going to go out there. He has something to say. So take a listen to what Austin has to say, and we'll briefly go over that in a moment. Take a listen.
SummerSlam this Sunday, pay-per-view. Will that man get his wish?
I knew all along that you two were together and you're having a little family reunion, and I damn near got all choked up in the back about it because I feel so happy for you. You son of a bitch, you damn near set me on fire up here, and I don't appreciate that none. SummerSlam is 6 days away, and I know better than ever it will take a hell of an effort on Stone Cold Steve Austin's part to beat one of you. To beat you, Undertaker, it will take a hell of an effort. But against both you big bastards, I know I ain't got much of a chance.
He knows it, JR! Well, he's right. Who could have a chance against these two monsters?
So you can rest assured, you better grow some eyes in the back of your head, because Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to take somebody out tonight.
Ah! And by God, he means it.
You stand there and you play with fire and you think you're in Stone Cold Steve Austin's head. I'm going to tell you something. When I get your ass in SummerSlam, I'm going to burn your ass. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Okay, so Austin comes out. He's pretty funny here. He says, I knew all along you two were together, having a family reunion. I was starting to get choked up in the back, and I feel so happy for you. And then he brings up the pyro, which is great. He's like, you son of a bitch, you damn near set me on fire right here. I don't appreciate that none. Because he did look shocked by it. So
yeah, he does, and then he just kind of brushes off the quote unquote like supernatural powers that Kane and Taker have.
Yeah. Then he goes on to say, I know I can beat one of you. To beat you, Undertaker, it'll take a hell of an effort. But against both of you, I don't have much of a chance. So he says, you better have eyes behind the back of your head tonight, because Stone Cold's going to take one of you out tonight. And it only made sense that, well, it's going to be Kane, right?
Right.
So you take the Undertaker out, then what's your match at SummerSlam? So he's going to go after one of them, though. That's the premise here. You got to take one of them out by SummerSlam. And at SummerSlam, I'm going to burn your ass. That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Burn your ass. I'm going to burn your ass. It was just kind of strange. Because it's not like a Inferno match or anything. It's like, I'm going to burn your ass.
Yeah, it's a good catch. I didn't really... yeah, like it's not an Inferno match, and that's the only time you ever fucking burn an opponent.
Yeah, right. So they have the odds stacked against Stone Cold, which is cool. He's the babyface, the big babyface. And now he has Kane to worry about on top of the Undertaker. So the odds are against him as usual. Yeah, just like before with his Dude Love matches, he had the Stooges and McMahon to worry about as the referee and the timekeeper and all that shit. So they're always stacking the deck against Stone Cold here. And this pretty much cements Undertaker as the heel in this match. But that's all going to change when we get to SummerSlam. So they should have just kept Undertaker continuing to go down this dark path and not try to be like, well, I'm a man, I'm going to win the championship like a man. He should have just been a heel and, had Kane be involved and shit.
Yep, I agree.
But they wanted it to be like two fan favorites pretty much. Undertaker, edgy fan favorite, just like Stone Cold is. But they should have just went straight heel, in my opinion.
Well, with the cahoots and everything, it's like, dude, he was basically a fucking heel, and then all of a sudden, He's kind of
exactly.
like, it's a baby face against a baby face.
Right, it's kind of like they just threw out all the shit they were building up for 2 months to just be like, oh no, he's a babyface tonight. He wants to win like a real champ, and he's gonna. Now we'll talk more about that when we get to the match, but yeah, that's I'm already got that in my mind. Like right here, you see it that they're heels together against Austin, and it's all gonna go to shit soon. But anyway, all right. So the last thing you see in that segment is Mankind leaving in a stretcher, and he keeps yelling, "I'm all right, I'm all right, I'm all right." So there's going to be a match with Mankind and Kane, all that, and all that's related to this Austin story going on. So we're going to talk about it all here in the main part of our review of Raw, and not for the side notes. So with that said, there's a Mankind promo later in the night, 24 minutes. It goes to about 26-minute mark. And you have Mankind. He frees himself from the ambulance, and he takes the stretcher, and he slides down the ramp with it. It looked like he was being like a little playful kid. Like, oh, yeah, wee!
Yeah, it looked like he was having a lot of fun.
And then he crashes right into the ring, the side of the ring. Fucking great. That's at 24 minutes and 12 seconds. That's a funny thing to take a look at. So even he says, it was cahoots all along. The good Cub Scout should always be prepared. And my Cub Scout leader, Vince McMahon, told me not to trust Kane. Mr. McMahon offered me redemption, and redemption is above my head. He's pointing to the Hell in a Cell. So he says, when I get Kane in the cell, well, I'm going to get my ass kicked. That was a good line. I'm going to get my ass kicked, aren't I? What kind of idiot would step back in the same cell that nearly cost him his life? Well, Philadelphia, you're looking at that idiot right now. So he's being pretty funny here. And then he goes on to talk about, I got a plan, and it doesn't involve getting in the ring. Just like at King of the Ring, Mankind is going to walk up to the top of that cage. And if I can get Kane through that top of the cage, I got a surprise for that big burnt bastard. I got 7,000 thumbtacks, and I'm going to turn him into the world's largest pincushion. He says, if there's a turn for the worse, well, it won't be the first time I got my ass kicked in Philadelphia. And he gets a huge pop, of course, because he got his ass kicked many times in Philadelphia.
Yep.
In his ECW matches. He says, I don't give a damn. I'll see you in hell. Then he even sticks a tack right in his face right at the end of that promo.
Yeah. Too casual, too.
Yeah, just
he doesn't even act it out as he's trying to put he's there's any pain in him doing it. You wouldn't if I didn't see in your notes, I probably wouldn't even notice that he was putting a tack in his face, just about how calmly he does it. So you don't have to be that crazy either. You don't have to put a tack in your face, bro.
It's crazy. You're crazy enough. We know you take those bumps.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. So you got a nice surprise little match here on the go home show to SummerSlam. You get Kane versus Mankind, Hell in a Cell match, and they actually give it a good amount of time, and it's kind of like a legit match. It's a legit Hell in a Cell match, and these are tag team champions. Remember, they just won the titles a couple weeks back against Undertaker and Stone Cold. So here they are. They're up against each other. Kane's going to enter the ring. Undertaker's going to come out with them, stand outside the cell. Mankind's going to try to climb the cage, and the refs aren't letting him do it. And then ultimately, Kane is going to get to Mankind and ram him into the cage door. And Mankind's trying to throw the chair on top of the cage, on top of the cell, rather, like he did at King of the Ring. Remember how he just tossed it up there at King of the Ring? One shot.
Yep.
Well, this time it's going to take him. Well, he's not going to do it. It's not even going to work. So he's going to try twice, and it just keeps falling down, right next to Jerry Lawler. And you can tell he's scared as shit. What the fuck? Knock it off. So ultimately, Mankind just says, fuck it. And he goes to climb the cage. But then Undertaker pulls him right from the cage and then through the Spanish announce table. Wow, that's like a pay-per-view spot right there.
Yeah, on Raw. Instead it's on a go-home show.
Right. And I noticed with this cell and the setup that they have for Raw, there was no space. No space to move around the cell because the fans are basically right up against the cell.
Yeah. Yep.
There's very little room to move.
More of a confined area to perform.
Yep. So finally, like 5 minutes into the match, they get into the ring, they get into the cell. Earl Hebner's going to lock the cell 47 minutes. And you're going to have a battle back and forth. Kane attacks Mankind with the steel steps. Kane's going to dive out of the ring and cross body onto Mankind, which is pretty cool. Mankind's going to crawl under the ring, and then he reappears on the other side with the steel chair and that thumbtack bag that he came out with earlier in his earlier promo. And then he's going to nail the hell out of Kane with that chair. He dumps the tacks, but then Kane whacks him to the ground. He gets a few tacks in his ass. But then Mankind tries to get the mandible claw out. That gets prevented. You get a series of forearms. And then he goes for a pile driver onto Kane. And when Kane lands, he lands in all the tacks. So he does become that giant pincushion. Because he has them all over his ass. Did you notice that?
Yep.
Did you notice Kane's ass? Did you look at Kane's ass?
Yeah, it was shiny. Couldn't miss it.
Yeah. So yeah, Kane's gonna fight back, and he's gonna tombstone Mankind right in the center of the ring. But he doesn't go for a cover, and he looks to the Undertaker, and Undertaker gives him like the off with his head thing, whatever the fuck you want to call that, slit throat thing. So he's like, finish him, and Kane nails Mankind twice more with the chair. And then he does the tombstone onto the chair. And then just as Kane is about to make the cover, Austin comes out of nowhere and breaks the count. And the bell rings. Guess it was interference. And he must have been hiding under the ring the whole time.
Yeah. It's always weird. How did they get there?
Right.
Did they go down during like a break? Or, I don't know.
Well,
like an escape door or something?
I've been to to live shows, of course. And it wasn't that long ago. I think it was like maybe last year or whatever. I think it was a SmackDown in Providence. And it was during one of the break segments where like it was a commercial break. But in the house during the commercial breaks, they shut down the lights and they played like things on the video screen.
Yeah, yep.
Like advertisements and shit. And there was like a crowd of people. And I'll say like 6, 7 people walking out to the ring. And my first initial thought was, someone's hiding in that group of people, and they're going to go under the ring. That big bunch of people. Because it just was like, what the hell are all these people coming out for? So they were hiding Randy Orton. And then in the very next segment, Randy Orton came out from underneath and did the RKO out of nowhere to, I forget who it was at this point. But yeah, that's how he got down there without people noticing him. It was during those commercial breaks with the videos playing, and then also surrounded by a group of people that were acting like they were like fixing the ring or something,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what they do, pretty much. A little insight there from a non-wrestler.
Insider knowledge from an outsider.
Yeah. I'm sure anybody else that's been to a show where that situation happens picked it up too.
Yeah, and you feel like an insider too.
But it doesn't. Well, it's something that doesn't happen all the time. So to witness it happening, and
that's true. That's true.
And actually. I called it too. I think I was with my wife, and I said, "Oh, Randy Orton's going to come out during this match. He's going to be under the ring." And it happened. She was like, "Whoa!" All right, so you got Austin's interference now. We're at the 52-minute mark at this point, and Austin is stomping a mud hole into Kane, and Undertaker's just trying to get in. He's doing whatever he can to get in the ring. And Austin apparently was under the ring the whole time, like we just said and explained. But Undertaker climbs to the top of the cell. Austin's going to peg him off as he's climbing the cell. And then he's going to nail Kane with the chair and then a stunner. Austin is trying to stomp himself through. But it looks like Austin's like looking back up like, come on, you're supposed to be getting in by now. Like it's taking too long for the Undertaker to bust through to get in. So Austin is just kind of like going back and forth with like kicking Kane. Like, all right, I guess I'll just keep kicking this guy. Yeah. So Undertaker, at this point, he doesn't get through. So the cell starts to lift. So that's probably what he was waiting for. Is all right? Is the cell getting lifted yet?
Yep.
So the cell starts to get lifted, and then it cuts to Vince McMahon. He's the one lifting the cell up. And JR gives us some perspective here and says McMahon wants to protect his investment. He doesn't want them going at it until SummerSlam this Sunday. So it is a cool go-home segment where, all right, there is this tension. We now know that Kane and Undertaker are aligned with each other. But you got to wait. You got to see it on pay-per-view. You're not going to get it here.
And there's a great shot of Vince. They show Vince obviously like lowering the cage.
Right.
And
he's all smiles.
It's a good scene because it's a dark background. You got the raw red, makes him look very like an actual villain. It's just it's good shot from a production standpoint.
Yep. And then just for good measure, Kane gets stunned again, and you get the Austin music playing. You get some cool imagery of Undertaker on the top of the cell as it rises, and Austin is below, giving him the birds. And then Austin goes to grab the stretcher. And after the break, Kane and Undertaker are back in the ring. The cell is lowered at that point to let Undertaker back in. And then it gets raised again. And Undertaker has a mic. And Undertaker is going to have some words for Stone Cold. So take a listen to what the Undertaker has to say. He has a little threat for him.
Just aggressively ended. Oh, the Undertaker still
Austin,
here. Uh-oh.
I have given you far too much respect because what you just did is come out here in front of millions of people and prove that you are nothing more than a coward.
Oh, well, I don't think so. Well, he did hide under the ring. He waited under the ring. Hid.
You jumped Kane from behind with no provocation.
Kane's bleeding from his head, thanks to the rattlesnake.
Well, you need to understand this. When you jumped him, you sealed your fate. And tonight, before this night ends, you will come face to face with your destiny.
Huh? Tonight?
This has nothing to do with SummerSlam. This is personal.
All right, so that's pretty brief. It's Undertaker just basically saying, you're a coward, which doesn't make any sense because Undertaker and Kane are the ones that had been dressing up like each other, trying to be sneaky and shit. So
they've been the
more
cowards the whole time. Yeah.
Right, and they've been lying about what's going on for a couple of months already. So he's trying to turn it around on Austin now and be like, oh, I had respect for you, but now you're just a coward. It's like, fuck you, you're the coward, asshole. So, which is good as a heel to say that. But if next week on the pay-per-view he's not going to be healed, then what the fuck's the point?
What was the point of it? Yeah.
He said, you jumped Kane from behind. When you jumped him, you sealed your fate. Which, even that is screwy. Like, why all of a sudden do you care about Kane now? Like, he's been trying to kill you. He came back to kill you.
He is trying to kill you. He was going to kill himself.
Yeah. So before this night's over, you will come face to face with your destiny, and this has nothing to do with SummerSlam. This is personal. That makes no sense either to me. What do you mean it has nothing to do with SummerSlam? You're going to fight him tonight because it's personal? I thought you were fighting him at WrestleMania because it's personal too. Like, I don't know.
Less is more, Taker. Less is more.
Yeah, no shit. Taker reigns.
Yep.
Roman Taker. All right. So we got more Undertaker later in the night. Undertaker's going to cut another promo. So, and this has to do with what Vince McMahon brought up earlier in the show is, friend or foe. Is this friend or foe? So this is kind of broken into some parts. So we're not going to play the clip for all of it, but we'll play one clip for you here. A couple minutes. So take a listen, and we'll talk about it after.
Is it more head games?
Right, is he playing with somebody? Is somebody in? I mean, we've seen this so many times. Anything could happen. Hell, I came out of there once. Yeah. Scariest ride I ever had, too. At SummerSlam, I will take what is rightfully mine, the World Wrestling Federation title. And I'm gonna do it like a man. You see, Austin, I'm gonna be right there in your face. I'm not gonna jump you from behind. And you need not worry about my brother, because Kane has his own agenda at SummerSlam. I've been up front from the beginning. So Highway to Hell, SummerSlam 98, it's gonna be you, me, and the World Wrestling Federation title. But tonight, you decided to make this personal. Don't you realize, boy, when you jumped on Kane, you jumped on me. So what I would like for you to do, Stone Cold Steve Austin, is take a ride on the Highway to Hell tonight.
Oh,
boy.
there's the challenge.
Yeah, and you know the Stone said don't back down
see,
from nothing.
What'd I tell you guys? What'd I tell you? Here comes the boss. He doesn't want his birthday. He doesn't want his birthday ruined by seeing his main event get beat each other to death here.
Yeah, he's out here to put the big kibosh on this.
And maybe he's looking for the answer, friend or foe. He's always been very friendly to me. Of course. Uh-oh.
Forget about Austin. More important, Vince McMahon, friend or foe?
There it is. Pretty straightforward question. What's the answer, Undertaker? Pick up the mic and answer him. Look at... Oh! They're not friends! They're not friends!
Get some altitude, baby!
Happy birthday!
All right, so Undertaker comes out with the casket, rolls it out. McMahon still wants his answer, whether or not he's a friend or a foe to the Undertaker. And based on what McMahon just did, like lifting the cage, like, you're a foe to me. You just prevented me from kicking Austin's ass.
Beating the hell out of the guy I'm trying to get at, yeah.
Right. So why the hell would I be a friend? So the Druids bring down the this huge casket. It's like as big as the Yokozuna casket from Royal Rumble 94, which is kind of suspicious. And Jerry Lawler even mentions, maybe it's Shawn Michaels. I forget who it was on commentary. But they say, there's a lot of big guys pushing that, and it looks like they're really struggling too. So
probably,
you got this
I think it was HBK. Sounds like HBK.
Yeah, I think it was.
They were probably pissed he made that comment too.
Yeah. Right. It didn't just mean like big guys, like big strong guys, because they were like big fat guys. So we get Undertaker again saying this thing that doesn't make sense. At SummerSlam, I will take what is rightfully mine, the WWF title. Like, we said this last week, but say it again. It's not rightfully his. He's not the previous champion. He was champion, a few times before, a few times back, It's not like he lost it some weird way and then Austin ended up winning it. No. It's so far removed from the Undertaker's last reign. You had Bret Hart as the champion. You had Sid as the champion. You had Shawn Michaels as the champion. You had Steve Austin now as champion. You had Kane as the champion. So all these other champions have come and gone. He's like, this is rightfully mine. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So anyway, Kane has his own agenda at SummerSlam. And I've been up front from the beginning. So it's you and me and the WWF title. And I think the crowd's saying boring at this point. I don't know if you noticed that. I don't know if you noticed in my notes that it was possibly saying boring, but they were chanting boring from what I heard. Oh well. Well, this segment, now, I know they had to have this segment because of the friend or foe, but it does seem like Undertaker's using more time than he should. He's saying a lot of that same shit again, where title's rightfully mine, I'm going to get the WWF title, and the reason why I think this might be some filler is that now they're trying to drag out this last segment is because, we'll get to it in the side notes, but the Brawl for All match ended so quickly that they didn't anticipate having this much time left at the end of the show.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Because the Brawl for All was the last match.
Yep.
So if anything, they should have done this segment, but I can see why they did it this way. They want the show to close with this segment.
Yep.
Well, yeah, maybe they.
This is what's selling the pay-per-views.
Right.
You know what I mean? Back when you
So
had
it's
to
probably
sell
not a
actual
good idea.
pay-per-views.
Right. So it's probably not a good idea though to put a shoot type match that is not predicted. Like, it wasn't scripted. You can't predict what happens. You put that right before this. You should have had a scripted match right before this.
Yeah,
so that you can time it out right.
Yeah, or start the show with the unscripted match, and then you kind of adjust the rest of the show based on the result of the.
Right.
the
Yeah.
shoot
Start.
part, you know.
Yeah. Start the Brawl for All right at the beginning. Yeah. Yeah, that would probably been a better idea. All right. So that's just my 2 cents on that. So when you jumped on Kane, you jumped on me, Stone Cold. I'm gonna take you on the ride to the highway to hell tonight. So this promo is just totally like I said, filler. It's just rehashing all the same shit he's been saying, all this corny ass shit. You know, next thing he's gonna say is, "This is my yard." Isn't that funny though? Because the Undertaker does use that, right?
My
That
yard.
it's his yard. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Reigns uses it too.
Yep.
Lame. All right, so McMahon's gonna come
Yes,
out.
very lame.
Yeah, McMahon comes out, and they say, JR says he doesn't want his birthday ruined. He doesn't want his main event ruined. So he comes out. You know, he's a friend or foe. He's a friend or foe, and McMahon's gonna drop the mic to shake his hand. Undertaker sticks out his hand, and McMahon's smiling to go in for the handshake. Then Undertaker just grabs him by the neck and chokeslam. Bam, chokeslam. And then Austin just comes out of nowhere again. So he's underneath the ring. He's going to pop out of a casket. he's like doing all magic show tricks and shit tonight. He's popping up everywhere.
Magic.
Austin must have some of those magical powers too. How do you get underneath the cage in the ring? How do you come out of this casket? Okay, so he gets in Vince's face and says, you know, he's just jaw-jacking, talking bullshit to him. And then more magic happens. Kane comes out of the same casket. so you would think, well, why would they both be in there? So, you know, but the casket looks so big. It's like a double-layered casket. Like I said, it's like the Yokozuna casket. Giant casket from Royal Rumble 94.
Yeah, it's not your typical. It's not for fucking regular human being.
Right. So it must have been like double layered, like a trap door, maybe. Or yeah, maybe it was this. Maybe they're just both in there, just laying together. I'd have to take another look at it because, from my recollection, it looked like it couldn't fit both of them laying on what looked to be like the bottom of it. So it might have been like two layered. Like one, Austin was on, he popped out, and then Kane was underneath that, then he popped out from another door, just underneath it. I don't know. Whatever the fuck. They both fit in there, and they both come out. And it made sense, though, now, going back to Shawn Michaels' comment that the Druids were having a tough time bringing out the casket because you had Stone Cold and Kane laying in there. So Kane's going to attack Austin from behind. Austin's able to escape from the tombstone. He grabs the chair. He's going to walk off. He gets to the ramp and starts to go on. The fire just starts to like follow him up the ramp. Like just little flames up the middle of it. So very cool ending the go home, the build up to this SummerSlam main event. As I said, Undertaker is kind of positioned as the heel here, which is good because you should have a heel. So definitely cool dynamic is, it's nice that they kind of wrapped that up, like the whole cahoots thing prior to SummerSlam, so you weren't going into SummerSlam thinking, oh, what is he? Is Kane involved in this, or who's pulling the strings here? It's nice that you can just have the match now that you know what the story was. But the thing is, they're just going to abandon all of that when we get to SummerSlam. All right, so you have a little extra attitude on the WWE Network, and Austin ends up walking back. He takes his shirt off. Kane's going to leave the ring. Undertaker stands in the ring. They have a stare down. Austin walks back slowly. His music's going to hit again. Kane goes back into the ring. McMahon heads up the ramp and points at the Undertaker. You got the Stooges coming out to help McMahon get out of the way. And Austin returns and he beats on the Stooges. Patterson gets tossed in the ring. He gets chokeslammed, which is cool because he's not even on TV and he's taking a chokeslam for the people in attendance. And then the Undertaker just keeps beating on him, and Gerald Briscoe's going to get slammed into a casket. So they don't show that. That's extra attitude, so that wasn't played at the time. Because, in reality, it doesn't even really fit the storyline because the Stooges had really nothing much to do with this, and McMahon's kind of taking a back seat to in this storyline. Even though, he's a big part of it, he's not as prominent as he was with the Dude Love story.
No, because he was actually like he handpicked,
right,
dude. Whereas the Undertaker, he just kind of like picked. They didn't pick him, but accepts him because it's not Austin,
right?
But he does play.
He demanded a title shot.
Yeah, and he plays. He plays against Stone Cold. He's still, in it against Stone Cold. Playing up the conspiracy, trying to playing the mind games with Stone Cold.
Right.
So,
All right. So that's going to conclude the Austin parts of that Raw, that go home show. But we did have some good side notes. Like we said, we got the Brawl for All final, which was just before this last segment. And it's going to be Bradshaw versus Bart Gunn. And some cool little things that I took a listen to on Bruce Pritchard's podcast because I wanted to get a little bit more insight on this Brawl for All. So a couple of things that I learned about it from what Bruce Pritchard had to say is that Vince Russo wanted to put Bradshaw in his place in the locker room because Bradshaw is always being like a bully and act like he can kick everybody's ass. So part of this idea to do this came from the idea that, well, maybe if we get Bradshaw in it, somebody might actually kick his ass and might humble him. So that's like the whole premise is Russo was pissed off at Bradshaw, according to Pritchard. And then also Terry Funk went up to Pritchard and told him that Bart Gunn's going to be the one to win this, and he just believes that he's the one to win it because of his body. He has scars and his just demeanor. He's not boisterous. He's just somebody that'll go kick ass, and that's what Terry Funk saw in him. Said that big guy's going to win, and he called it.
Yep.
And I guess Ken Shamrock was supposed to be in this. It made sense that he would be in it, but he backs out because if he loses, it would only hurt him, right, and ruin his whole character. So he's smart to it, and it's like, fuck this, I'm not going to get in that because who knows what could happen. I could get knocked out, so I'm not going to be part of it. And even if he wins, how does that benefit him? Because people would just assume, oh, you should win if you're in it.
Yeah,
if he doesn't, then
he has everything to lose.
Yep, right, nothing to gain. So when I was listening to Pritchard, though, he did get some things wrong with the match. It's almost like he didn't rewatch the matches. He was just like, oh yeah, Godfather got his ass kicked. It's like, no, Godfather kind of won that match with Dan Severn.
Yeah, so, he won in my opinion, in our opinion, both of our opinions.
Right. All right, so that's if you want to learn more about the Brawl for All, check out them. They talked a whole episode about it, but we got the most extensive coverage because we actually got it right. You didn't even watch the matches again. Although he was there, we weren't.
Yeah, he was there firsthand.
All right, so you get Bradshaw. He's going to get knocked out in about 30 seconds. He gets up, though. Gets up on an 8 count. He just looks fucking dazed. He's just like, what? You could tell he doesn't know what's going on. He's just like, oh, okay, I'm up. And then Bart immediately, right after that, goes left, right, fucking knocks him down. Bradshaw had no chance. He's knocked out with 18 seconds left in the first round. And that's about it. Bart Gunn kind of looks over to see if he's all right. And then that's it. That's just boom. Bart Gunn just nails him out again. And he wins whatever he wins. I guess the prize was $75,000. In second place got like $25,000.
Wow, I didn't realize they got that much money.
And for every fight, the winner would get $5,000 and the loser would get $2,500 for each fight.
For each fight they participated in prior to the main event?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice. Huh. I wonder why guys wanting to fucking... Surprised more guys didn't try to get in. That's good money.
Right. Yeah. Nice quick money. But the thing is, so many a good amount of them injured themselves. Like Dr. Death and Draws even got hurt. Godfather. And so it just became more of a pain in the ass, I guess, for talent relations like JR and Bruce Pritchard. I was saying like more money went into covering the expenses for their bills than it was worth. That was a shit show, ultimately, what it comes down to. So it's all over with, and that's it. Brawl for All is over. And the strange thing is, people often think Butterbean when they hear Brawl for All. That's not for like months. That's not until WrestleMania the following year.
The following year, yeah.
So it's still a long time to come. You got half a year to go. More than that. All right, so that's it for the Brawl for All. So long, Brawl for All. That's all for all. Brawl for all. Whatever. I'm trying to be fucking Dr. Seuss today. All right. Now, you get one last good segment here. Side notes. And it's China. China calling out The Rock. And The Rock fucking goes off like, he's never gone off before. Cuts one of his best promos up to this point. He had good stuff with Austin back in December that we covered. Well, that shit was carried by Austin, basically.
Yeah, now, he's a much more evolved performer right now.
Right. Yeah, he's much more polished, and he does this whole promo on his own. So while China's involved in it and he's talking about China, she didn't even have to be there. Because she didn't say shit. She's just standing there, and he's doing everything on his own. And The Rock says, I see you looking at me with those bedroom eyes. China, you just need to get some. So, crazy. He says, at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, The Rock is the man to give it to you if you smell what The Rock is cooking. And then at one point, they grab China, and he's like, put her down on her knees where she belongs. And he says, you look pretty good on your knees. It's almost like a natural position.
Hey.
He tells her to pucker up. Pucker up. But on second thought, The Rock would never kiss a piece of trash like you. Then he forces Mark Henry to do it. He says, you do it. You kiss her. And then Mark Henry does like the big lip thing where he's licking his lips and he's like, blah, 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 blah. And then you get Shawn Michaels come back. He's been on commentary a few times the past few weeks, but he comes in, knocks Mark Henry down with the chair, and goes in, kind of saves China, his old DX partner. And then his music hits. He starts dancing on the table, and then he goes into commentary for the rest of the show. So yeah, that was him with the Druids comment because he was on commentary that night. That's right. All right, so now we get the pre-show of Sunday Night Heat on August 30th, 1998. This is in New York City, Madison Square Garden. Okay, so I'm not going to get into like the pre-show matches or any shit like that, but I did think it was cool that they have a pre-show that is their regular show. So it just goes right into the pay-per-view, so they can have always, the night of their pay-per-view, Sunday Night Heat gets to be like the pre-show. So it's cooler than what the pre-shows used to be. Like the free-for-all used to be that half-hour kind of nothing, just kind of promos for the matches coming up and maybe one match. But this is going to be like a legit show with, promoting the SummerSlam, of course, but also having additional matches. So cool idea. It'd be cool if WWE Network would do that, like have Sunday Night Heat return. But they wouldn't take it seriously. But
no, it would just be a waste of our time. We wouldn't watch it because we'd watch the first
Few
episode,
of them.
realize that it's just a fucking continuation of
more bullshit.
the
so,
whack shit they put out.
Right.
On
But at the
Mondays and
time,
Thursdays,
this is a
so.
good concept for the way things were then.
Yep.
And even then,
I agree.
Sunday Night Heat's gonna not last as being, a worthy show. Once SmackDown comes along, Sunday Night Heat gets downgraded.
Sunday's a tougher time to compete too.
Yeah, but I like the
there was a
idea
lot
though.
going on. It's Sunday back then.
Right. But I kind of do like as a wrestling fan back in '98. That's up my alley right there. Like, wrestling on Sunday.
Oh hell yeah,
And,
same here.
Like the night before Raw, where they get to tell you all the things that are going to happen on Raw and hype Raw up even more. So this is a good hype show because we got the Monday Night Wars going on. So they want to give the fans, immediate information, like new information, like this is going to happen tomorrow.
Yep.
It's not like you have to wait from Monday to Monday. Now you get Sunday as a little warm up for what you need to watch tomorrow on Raw. So good little tool there that they use to help gain some more viewers for the Monday Night Wars on Raw. All right, so one thing that did stand out, though, that was not Austin related, that I just had to point out, was Double J goes and shaves Fink's hair and mustache. And I think this is the point where Fink is bald. I don't think he ever has his hair back after this. I think he just keeps shaving it, which he should have shaved it a long time ago. Who the fuck would ever want that hairstyle like that? Howard Finkel, and Mean Gene Okerlund.
I don't know.
Bald, like hair around your head, but bald on top. What the fuck is
that? I started losing the hair.
Like George Costanza.
Yeah.
Like, what's that?
Like, dude, just fucking shave it off. Do a beezer. Do something.
Right, just make it all one level,
And they fucking comb it and put product in it. Like, really? Really?
Like,
you think? You think gel's gonna help that?
Just get rid of that shit.
Spoiler: it's not gonna help it.
And you probably look younger too.
Yeah, like, dude, you don't look like a fucking shoe salesman or something. There's no such thing as shoe salesman anymore.
No.
It's a fucking dead profession. That's like Latin. Nobody does that.
Yeah, it's just like an Al Bundy fake thing.
Yeah.
Like shoe salesman. I mean, yeah, I guess you can be a shoe salesman if you work at a shoe store, but it's not like the old traditional. These kids don't know what they're fucking doing.
No.
They're just like, put your foot on this thing.
Put your foot on this metal thing. Well, the Nikes run a little high. They run bigger than the Reeboks, but you want them?
Yeah,
You want these?
We got some socks you can use.
Yeah.
All right. So the last thing here we got on this Heat warming up for the show is Austin's waiting for Kane and Undertaker to show up. Austin has a sledgehammer throughout the night. He's just walking throughout not throughout the night, but throughout this opening of the show, he has a sledgehammer, and that's going to come into use later in the night. And McMahon wants to protect his main event, so he tries to take the sledgehammer from Austin. The Stooges are trying to take it from him. Austin is getting pleaded with McMahon to, not use the sledgehammer. And Austin's going to warn him that Kane better not attack from behind. And then the hearse shows up. And Austin takes the driver out, smashes the car windows. He even gets a forklift. If he can bust through the back of the hearse, he lifts up the hearse. And Kane and Undertaker are not in it. And Mankind even mentions during SummerSlam that he wanted to put Kane in the hearse. So, more like Stone Cold driving around shit and busting shit. To kind of hype things up for the show. So, that now will lead us now to the main event, to SummerSlam. SummerSlam 98 from Madison Square Garden. This is August 30th. And the show's going to kick off. Well, the Austin parts are going to kick off with an interview. And there was an interview with Undertaker early in the night. He was promising that Kane would not be at ringside. Kane is not going to be here. Kane is not going to interfere in my match. So Austin's going to respond to that. Cole informs Austin that Undertaker will be alone. Austin responds, well, maybe that's true. Maybe it's not true. He has the right to feel that way. And I think he has the right to feel that way. You know, you shouldn't trust Undertaker. But he doesn't really give a fuck. He's like, okay, that's true. Maybe it's not true. Whatever. No, he respects Undertaker more than anyone in WWF. I ain't afraid of a cheap shot. To hang on to this belt. So he'll do whatever it takes, basically, to hang on to the belt. And, you know, because that's Stone Cold's character right there. All throughout is that he's just going to do whatever it takes to be the champion.
Yep.
And I think that's something that we got to stick with. We got to remember that later on. You know, not with this, but later on down the road, there's going to be something big that happens with him. And we always just got to keep in mind that Stone Cold is not a good dude. Okay? He only does what he does to make himself happy. Ultimately.
Stone Cold is about Stone Cold.
Exactly. So my point being with what I'm saying is, when he turns heel, too fucking bad. He did it because he had to. He did it because he wanted the title.
He did it because he wanted the title, and WWE didn't know what to do with him. And they figured, you know what, fuck it.
Let's
turn him heel.
But we're still like 2 years away from that.
Yeah.
So, but remember that.
But in WWE lore, he just did anything to fucking win.
Right. That's right. That's his story. He's sticking to it. All right. So do you want to talk about the main event first, or you want to do the side pay-per-view matches before?
Let's bang out the side notes first.
All right. Yeah, because I feel like if we do this, it's kind of like dragging us down at the end. Like, all right, let's talk about these other matches that weren't as important to our major story.
Let's bang through. Yeah. I don't have many, but we can bang through these side notes first.
All right, so let's get into some of these matches here. Yeah, we're not going to talk a whole lot about them, but I'll just run through them and see what you have to say about them.
Okay.
All right, we got Val Venus versus D'Lo Brown for the European Championship match. You had said earlier you thought it was kind of sloppy.
Yeah, I thought it was sloppy, and just when you listen to the commentary, you can tell they're trying to cover up how sloppy it is. Like, I don't know, Val having back spasms and D'Lo having problems because it's so hot in the building. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that good of a match, in my opinion.
And they go for about 15 minutes, though, so you would think
that it was
something good was happening.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. I think that's what they were slated for, and then maybe this is why Val Venus never took off
maybe
as
this
big
was
as we
supposed
think
to
he
be.
was.
Yeah, maybe they thought this was his opportunity.
But I didn't think. I thought it was sloppy. Is the best way to put it. And I don't really think it was on D'Lo. I think D'Lo started to wrestle down to Val Venus. That's what I got out of that.
Yeah, so while it may have been sloppy, the crowd still loved Val Venus.
And they loved D'Lo. They were chanting for D'Lo.
Yeah, they loved D'Lo too. But because the way it finished was DQ. So maybe to make the fans happy, they do this one last part at the end there, and that's when Val Venus gives the ref the money shot. Mm-hmm. So, well, they may have been disappointed, or who knows? Maybe they weren't disappointed, but
no, I don't think the crowd was into it. But when you watch it from home, anytime you watch stuff from home when you're live, it's two totally different perspectives. So they were eating it up. It was the first match of the show, so they're hot to get the fucking pay-per-view started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got their first few beers in their fucking system already. But the match itself I didn't think it was good. I thought it was pretty bad. And I wanted to like it, and I was just like, it seemed sloppy. Like nothing seemed. The ring work just. And I'm not big. Like I don't judge a lot of matches on the technique part because honestly, I've never wrestled, so I don't appreciate the little things like that.
Yeah.
But paying attention to it, I didn't really. I didn't care for it. It felt sloppy. Maybe they just don't work well together. I don't know.
Right. But they did leave him happy with the money shot.
Yeah.
And also makes Val Venus still a big deal to be leaving, not just like, it was DQ, he just walks off to the back. He leaves as the big star. All right, so then we got the oddities with ICP versus Kai Tai. Fuck this match.
Nah, didn't even watch it. Once I
Fast
saw
forward right through
ICP,
it.
I'm like, I'm as interested in ICP in 2019 as I was in 1998.
Oh man, it's funny though if you're watching on the network. Right after the match, it just cuts right to a totally different segment because I think ICP maybe performed, and they just cut that from the show.
Yeah.
So it just ends abruptly. It's fucking bullshit though. You got Double J versus X-Pac. Nah, I guess it's okay. But I'm just not into it. Wasn't into the story. Wasn't into the whole hair cutting thing. Wasn't into Don't Piss Me Off.
No.
Okay? But looking back,
Don't
these are
piss me off.
two WWE Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
X-Pac and Double J. Back-to-back years, too. Class of 2018, class of 2019. And, just a decent match because they're both decent. They're good workers, both of them. So they'll put on a good match, but the story wasn't doing it for me. All right, what about, this storyline's been going on forever, it feels. Mero and Jacqueline versus Sable and a mystery partner who ends up being Edge.
I don't know. I liked it because it's kind of like the early stages of what we see now in women's wrestling. Sable coming out and wrestling because she does the Sable Kanrana off the top rope, which is cool. I don't know. It was good for what it was.
Good. Yeah, I think it was good for Edge too, because he had just been at this point the guy that's in the stands.
Yeah.
So now he's coming out, and Sable's one of the biggest stars in the company.
She's the biggest female star in the company.
Right. Oh, big time. Yeah. So, but even with the other stars, like her segments are more prominent than others.
Yep.
So for having Edge to be paired with her, it's going to get Edge some attention.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he needed that at that point, kind of help break through. So yeah, not anything special, but cool that Edge is making his pay-per-view debut there. We get the Lions Den match, Shamrock and Owen Hart. Okay, another themed match. Okay, last time they were in a basement. This time they're in the MSG Theater in a made-up cage, not an octagon. It's like a circle cage.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah, it just looks strange. It looks like low budget. It looks like TNA.
It does. It looks wicked low budget, and it looks. I don't know. Even the fence looks cheap.
Right. You have Shamrock. He's bouncing off the cage and shit, like it's a double dragon or something. You bounce off the wall and do a spin kick.
Too much double dragon, Ken. Too much Billy and Jimmy Lee in your diet.
All right, so yeah, that's nothing great. Then I think at this point now, though, right from that Lions Den match, it was okay. But from there, that's where you have the good shit in the show. You got the WWF Tag Team Title match where Mankind's defending on his own.
If you could call it that.
Yeah. It's great because it's just a squash match. He just gets his ass kicked by the New Age Outlaws. Just a beatdown. So definitely not a good match, but for a story point of view, it's good. Because Mankind gets his ass kicked. He's out there because Kane is not going to be his partner anymore. And he gets caught. He gets tossed in a dumpster. But Kane was in there the whole time. So Kane's got his magic. He's going to show up wherever.
It's magic.
He has the sledgehammer. And then he slams it into Mankind, which we don't see happening. We just know that he's in there and Kane slams down. And JR loses his mind. Damn him! All of a sudden now, Mankind just he just goes between babyface and heel in the blink of an eye. Just moments ago, he was a heel, and now he's so much a babyface that JR is screaming, damn Kane, for hurting Mankind.
Yeah. They're slowly setting the crowd up for them to like him.
Right.
And
they just did like him not that long ago.
Yeah.
Just months ago before he went on the corporate dude.
Well, they liked him as corporate dude, right? I forget. I don't think he was cool with the crowd as Mankind, which he ends up obviously winning the
right before corporate dude.
With.
Right. Yeah, right before corporate dude though, he was Cactus Jack with the Chainsaw Charlie. They were into that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And then he decided to turn on Austin. Actually, yeah, right. pretty much turn on Austin, but he just sold out basically. But then the next match is the best match the whole night. It's the IC title ladder match, The Rock versus Triple H.
Oh, definitely the match of the night.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Starts off, you got DX band, they're playing. The one funny part is when Chris Warren, the lead singer of the band, he's on Triple H's shoulders. And I feel like this is the theme of the night. I feel like I've said this like 3 times. Just looks like a little kid. It's like Mankind. He's going down on the stretcher like a little kid. Vince McMahon with his little kid knees, and you have Stone Cold as a baby. Now you got Chris Warren on Triple H's shoulders, just like a little boy. It's just so funny. Like it's almost like degrading. I'm a full grown man sitting on this guy's shoulders.
I'll never do that. Hey, JV, you want me to put you on my shoulders? No. I'll just not see whatever you're looking at. That's fine.
Right.
I'm not going to humiliate myself like that.
Man, I don't want to get into all like the details of this match. It's a fucking awesome match.
Yeah, I'd recommend they go back and watch it.
Yeah, definitely go watch it again. It stands the test of time. It's the best match on this show. Probably one of the better matches of '98.
The year
up to this point
of the whole year. Yeah.
So definitely take a look at that. Triple H wins the title. The crowd fucking loves it at this point. A lot of people still didn't like The Rock, especially in the New York audience. So Triple H is huge. DX is huge at this point. So they're the crowd favorite. So people actually love Triple H at this time in 1998 when he wins this IC title. So JR even says, what a night for DX. They get the tag titles. They get the IC title. They get X-Pac cutting off Double J's hair. He mentions that as like one of the good things that happened. X-Pac cuts Double J's hair. All right, so that now brings us to the main event, the match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker. Let's get right into it. Okay, we get the opening. And this match is starting at 2 hours, 19 minutes, and it goes for about 20, 21 minutes. But what we have here to start is the entrance. We get the glass shattering entrance again, which is very cool. But the picture looked like shit to me. It's the Stone Cold skeleton. He has a bear in his hand, and he has an Austin shirt on, but it's like lifted up a little bit, and you can see its hip bones and ribs and vertebrae.
Yep.
It's like, what does he got, like a belly shirt on? Why is he showing a little bit of...
Well, he comes out after Taker, right? Taker came out first.
Yeah, Taker's out first.
Yeah,
Yep.
because I remember when I watched it, I was like,
that,
wow, they actually... Because nowadays, sometimes, like a lot of times, more times than not, you actually see the champion come out first.
Right, yeah.
It's always weird to me. The challenger should always arrive first.
First, right. Right, the champion's supposed to be the big star. He's the champ. So you want to see him come out last. He's defending. He'll come out first and let the second guy have a big introduction. Yeah. Fuck that.
Save the best for
last.
And the champ the best. Right.
That's right. And to be the best, you gotta beat the best. So here we are. We got Austin comes out, crowd fucking pops like crazy, and at this point, viewing this, I was thinking to myself, I'm excited for this match now because we've been on the highway to hell for weeks now.
Oh yeah,
and it's almost like I'm reliving 1998, like the whole build up, and like, yeah, I want to watch this match. So I wasn't disappointed. Even though there are some fucked up things about this match and it probably didn't go as totally planned, I still think it worked in the sense of what they were able to do. Now, I know earlier we were saying things that, kind of sucked about it. The fact that it ended up being like babyface versus babyface and it wasn't any real heel in this match. The Undertaker wasn't playing the heel. He was just playing his opponent, a respectable opponent, which that's always lame. There's a reason why in boxing they do that like whole jaw jacking thing, acting like they're enemies. It's because nobody wants to see a fight where both guys like, all right, let the best man win. See what happens.
Just watch these friends fight.
Right, it sucks. So you have to have that. And they did a great job with building that. But then the night of the show, when Undertaker says, well, Kane's not going to interfere, and Kane's going to come out eventually, and he's going to tell him to go away. It's like, why?
Well,
Be the heel.
It would have been nice if leading up to this, like, maybe they just ran out of time from like a booking perspective, but like to show Taker struggling with the decision to stick with his brother or take advantage of Austin and beat his ass and shit like that. Then just have him flip the switch without any real buildup or showing like inner battle with Taker, trying to figure out what he wants to do. Should he do the right thing or should he stay in cahoots with Kane? And then for him just to like flip the switch during the match, just kind of
makes no sense.
Yeah,
I mean, we have the things that are to come. We haven't seen in a while either, so maybe they'll do some further explanation in the next few Raws. We'll see. I know it's not over with Kane, Undertaker, and all that, but it just seems kind of weird that they would just for this match kind of just drop the whole storyline.
Yeah, I agree.
So
definitely.
So we'll definitely we'll see what happens with it. But this is noticeably this stands out that why they just for this match changing things around. Anyway, so you get the match started, and you get some punches right away. They're going back and forth at the corners, clotheslining each other into the corners. Undertaker's going to go for a quick cover right away, which I always like I've said before, actually try to win the match. And Austin kicks out. He gives him the bird. Austin's going to go for a quick roll-up that's followed with the drop toe hold into an armbar. It's like, whoa, shit, I haven't seen this shit from Austin since he was the ringmaster.
Mm-hmm.
So he's starting to do some actual wrestling, which is cool to see. And I like it because it's like, I got to fight The Undertaker in a different way because I'm not going to be able to battle that bastard the whole night. I need to try to wear him down. So I got to do some wrestling holds. So, cool strategy. Okay, Austin's going to go for a kick at 2-hour, 21-minute mark as if he's bent over, right? So what happens, and this is definitely something that you want to go back and see again, 2 hours, 21 minutes, 38 seconds. Austin's going to go to kick Undertaker, who's bent over, and Undertaker's going to lift up real quick. And plus, he's so fucking tall, he's going to lift up too quickly. He's going to knock Austin in the head. And you see Austin immediately just fucking fall over, which looked weird because, the spot was he kicks Undertaker, Undertaker falls down, but you see him kick Undertaker and then he falls down. It's like, what the fuck? And then you realize, Austin took a fucking shot to the head, fucking big ass headbutt. And he's down for, a little bit. He's down for
Oh yeah. He's not
30 seconds.
He's not right.
Right. And right away he's like, shit. And he must be thinking in his head, what the fuck? SummerSlam again. It's like bad luck.
Yeah, SummerSlams aren't his friend.
No. So Lawler's going to point out a couple minutes later that Austin hasn't been the same since that collision. And Austin has gone on to say that he barely remembers anything that happened in this match. So I can blacked out the things that happened. So Undertaker does some work on Austin at this point. They keep it going. So you would imagine that Undertaker is running this match now. He's calling all the spots. He's telling Austin what he needs to do most likely to remind him and just to keep him on pace. And I'm sure there's also part of it where Austin kind of just instinctively knows what to do. Right?
Yeah.
Because he's done it so many times. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like say you're drunk or something, you're playing a video game. You don't forget how to play because you're drunk. You keep playing. You might not play as well, but you can still play it. Still have an idea of what you're doing, even though you're a little fucked up.
That's a 5-star example. That gets 5 stars for me.
All right. So yeah, he's on autopilot basically. His mind's not operating properly, but his muscle memory is still going.
Well, you could tell when they show certain reactions he has. He's just he's not there. He's not all there.
Right.
You look in his eyes, you could just tell he's not there.
Yep.
He's there, but he's not.
Yep. Yeah, so Undertaker's definitely guiding this match. Austin's going to start to work on Taker's leg, so they get that going. And he's going to wrap them around the ring post a couple times. And at 2 hours, 25 minutes, Undertaker's going to do the old school And Austin's going to pull Taker off the top turnbuckle, which is nice. I always like when someone breaks the old school. I don't even really like that move. It looks cool because he's tall, but it's not practical because when you just always pull on the fucking arm, like get the hell down here.
Yeah, that's why I have a hard time accepting that move the older I get and the more I see it. And the fact they call it old school now makes me hate it too because it's a stupid name.
Right.
It's a fucking dumb name. It's old
It works.
school. You got kids that are like fucking, didn't even see him when he was the actual Undertaker. You just see his old ass now going out on the fucking ring. Like a shell of himself doing it. And it's like, oh, he's doing old school. That they've never seen before.
It's so funny that like a 15-year-old now was born in 2004.
Yeah, they didn't even see Biker Taker.
No, they didn't see Biker Taker.
Fucking Kid Taker.
Never mind, old school. They didn't see fucking Biker Taker. They didn't see Vampire Taker, Ministry of Darkness Taker.
They see fucking Balding Taker.
They see Retired Taker.
Yeah, Balding Taker.
All right, so there you have that. And Kane's going to walk through the gates of hell. Like I mentioned just moments ago, Undertaker's going to tell Kane to leave. And, which, I mean, I've said it numerous times already, is that, we want Undertaker to just be heel here. But part of me also does like the idea that it's just going to be one-on-one. And you're not going to have any kind of bullshit going down. You're just going to get to see them go at it, see who the winner is. So in that aspect, I think that's cool.
I like it, but I like it.
But it fucks up.
I like that it makes Undertaker look. That's the Undertaker I like. You know what I mean? Not the heel. I like that he's being like the honorable Undertaker. Like I like this Undertaker,
right?
But I just don't like how they had to make us figure. Like there was no. It was just lazy.
Yeah,
it just kind of happened. I think they could have done more with that if this was the route they were going to go. They could have at least teased it or something. But it's just like, oh yeah, all of a sudden, he wants it to be fair.
Right.
He had no problem softening Austin up the past fucking month.
No shit, and dressing as his brother and all that shit.
Just fucking,
But I guess, the one good thing about Kane coming out is that they didn't totally abandon the idea that Undertaker and Kane were together. It's just that Undertaker doesn't want him there now.
Yep.
And Kane being there just reminds the audience that, oh yeah, there is this thing with them. They didn't totally just abandon the idea. That's one thing to take away from it. All right, so it's a good spot at 2 hours 27 minutes. You got the Undertaker's going to grab Austin from the apron. He just lifts him up into the ring, carries him into the ring, and gives him a running choke slam. Just picks his ass up off the apron, brings him into the ring, slams him down. It's like, wow, look at the strength that he had. Because, Austin's probably fucking dead weight, really, at this point.
Yeah. He's not getting any better as this match goes on.
No. And there's still like 10 minutes left at that point. And Earl Hebner is the referee here. And they're doing fucking whatever the hell they want. They're smashing each other on the outside. There's no countouts or anything. And JR and Law point out, Hebner knows how important this match is, so apparently it's up to ref's discretion to not count them out. So Earl Hebner, he's gonna let them fight. But if it was some other fucking guy, he would just, all right, it's a count out. Like, I hate that kind of shit. Just make the match false count anywhere. Okay. I don't know. That's just a thing that irks me.
Nope, irks me too.
When they break the rules and they just say, oh, well, this match is important, so that's why we don't have to follow the rules.
They pick and choose when they want to enforce them, and they just fucking create rules on the fly.
Right.
Like, I don't like that.
Right, so there's all these instances where they're walking around through the crowd now. There's no count out. They get back. They've been hitting each other with different shit, throwing each other into steel steps and whatever, and using the ring post and a bunch of different illegal holds, and nothing is said about it. But later in the match, and I'm just going to bring it up now because it's on my mind, that later in the match, they're both on their back, and Earl Hebner's counting to 10. All right, so now you want to count them both out? What the fuck? It just makes no sense.
Nope.
You don't want to count them out of the ring. You didn't want to disqualify anybody, but now you want to do a double count out to him? A double count out on the mat? Yeah. He just looks like a goof, too, because it's like, you motherfucker. You weren't following any rules before, but now you're going to follow a rule?
Now all of a sudden the rules are like fucking the hand of God. Come on.
Right. All right, so Austin's going to get slammed in the spine first. Spine first. Austin could be paralyzed. Just the fact that they said that was kind of like, ugh. It was just fucking last SummerSlam that he almost was paralyzed.
Yeah.
Now you're going to fucking say that? Austin could be paralyzed by The Undertaker. And he does look fucked up at this point. And this is about 15 minutes into the match. And yeah, like you said before, you can see it in his face. The lights, nobody's home. Lights are on, nobody's home though. So moments later, Austin is tossed over the top rope. His mid to lower back just hits the edge. And he's trying to like save himself too. He's trying to grab the ropes, but he slipped on the ropes and then he lands on his back right on the the hard part of the ring there. Right on the edge. So he just keeps getting fucked up. Legit. And he gets slammed into the ring steps. Undertaker clears the Spanish announce table, throws him onto it. And then JR clarifies again. Earl Hebner, he's doing his best not to DQ or count anyone out. Because he knows there are people like me at home watching saying, how come there's no fucking DQ? How come there's no count outs? So people are thinking that, and he's just going to point it out. Like, oh yeah, Earl Hebner, he wants this match to happen. So he doesn't want to just end it in a DQ. This match has been building up for months, and we don't want to send you guys. We don't want you guys to end the show watching something like that with a DQ or count out. So, yeah, whatever. So JR is just trying to justify the actions of Earl Hebner. And I wonder if he was told to do that or if he just kind of did that instinctively. I would think probably
Instinctively, I would think.
Yeah. So you got Austin laying on the table. Undertaker's going to climb to the top rope, and he drops a leg drop on Austin. And the sucky thing about it is the table doesn't break. If the table breaks, then it's probably best. When the table doesn't break, it probably hurts even more. But what happens is they slide off of it. So it doesn't break, they just slide off the damn table. So that's a pretty big spot there. That's
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. So that's at 2 hours, 33 minutes, and 32 seconds. Okay, Austin's barely going to kick out. He looks like he might have been knocked out. So when he's in the ring and they go for the count, Austin just barely gets out on time. It's almost like he was forgot. That's what I'm thinking. He might just fall asleep or something, or he might just be daydreaming or something and not kick out on time. But he happens to here. And I wrote as a note, Undertaker should not try to pin him again. And I'm pretty sure Undertaker does not try to pin him again, because that might happen. Undertaker might go for a pinfall, and Austin might not kick out on time, and Undertaker would end up being the champ.
Yep.
Austin would accidentally lose his title. So now Austin's up at it, and he's spitting out blood. He's coughing up blood. So he's definitely got some internal injuries going on here. And, it doesn't seem like he's selling. It seems like this is legit. He's getting his ass kicked, and he's feeling the pain. So he's just hanging in there. He's waiting for this match to be over. He's probably like, come on, let's get to it. Let's get to the go-home here. Let's finish this up. So, Undertaker looks pretty badass, though, just being able to kick the shit out of Austin. So it's good for the character of Austin as the babyface to be getting beat down, because he can make that comeback. So even if it's, even if the match has changed because of that collision earlier, it still works, because he's going to have to make his comeback, and he's going to look like the great champ at the end. And Undertaker looks like a badass. He comes off as a badass here, and he doesn't look weak, even though he might lose. All right, so they both double clothesline each other at 2 hours, 36 minutes. This is when we get that stupid count by Earl Hebner. And it's a nice drama spot, but, what the fuck? You weren't following the rules before. Now you're going to follow the rules. So Austin's going to come up from this, make his comeback. He works on Undertaker, gets a Luthez press, gets his punches in, followed by the standing elbow drop off the rope. So Austin's getting all his moves in here. Okay, they get the reversal into the ropes. This leads to a stunner attempt. It's not actually a stunner, it's the jaw jacker. And they do a good job, JR and Lawler, of pointing that out and say, this is not the stunner, it's not the stunner. Because they didn't want people thinking at home like, oh, he hit him with the stunner and nothing happened.
Yeah.
You know, because some people might think it was the stunner. Like, no, this was the jaw jacker. Because it looks very similar. If you're not looking closely, it'll look like it's a stunner. And then from there, Taker's going to chokeslam Austin. Taker goes for a tombstone. Austin's going to break from it. Pushes Undertaker to the corner. Taker blocks the stunner. Spins Austin around. And it looks like it's going to lead to that stunner attempt. You know, the second stunner attempt. You know, he did it with Dude Love, where, you know, he kicks and he gets spun around and then he kicks again and he hits the stunner.
Yep.
You know, but what happens this time is Undertaker is going to grab Austin awkwardly. Like again, it's like dead weight. He's like just trying to like lift him up. It's like all man strength by Undertaker to get Austin up, and then he drops him on the top rope, drops him nut first on the top rope, and then you get a Russian leg sweep by the Undertaker, and Austin's down. Undertaker looks like he looks impatient. Like, get the fuck up, Austin. Austin's taking too long to get up. You can see it in Undertaker's face. Like, come on. So Undertaker's now going to go for old school again. Okay, Austin gives him a nut shot. And this takes Undertaker down. Taker's on his knees. And then once he gets up, Austin hits the gut shot and then nails the stunner. Match over. 2 hours, 39 minutes, 45 seconds. Austin wins clean. There's no interference. The thing that I thought was very strange is no fucking Vince McMahon involvement at all in this match. Nothing.
He wins clean-ish. I mean, he does give the guy a low blow.
Well, he does give the low blow. Yeah, you're right. It's not exactly clean, but he gets the 1, 2, 3.
As clean as it could be for a Hebner match.
You're right, exactly. So you got this like 20, 21 minute match. Austin is hurt, but you know he carries himself. He gets his spots in, so he's kind of aware. Okay, maybe he's guided by the Undertaker. So the Undertaker, you know, gets A+ for effort and his work here. So they put together a good match. You know, maybe some things we didn't like about the story, but I thought it was entertaining. Main event, you know, definitely not better than the IC title match, of course. We're talking about two totally different stories, but up to date from what we've covered so far in the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, this is the best Undertaker and Stone Cold match. It's probably not going to get better than this.
No, I don't think it does.
I mean, there's a lot more Undertaker and Stone Cold to come, so we'll see. But this was pretty damn good. I put it between 3.5 to 4 stars. I don't really know exactly what I want to settle on. I guess I'd go 3.5 stars. I don't want to be too generous if I'm not positive. So 3.5 stars for me. What say you?
I was thinking 3.5 stars as well.
All right, so 3.5 star match. So that's definitely the highest rated Undertaker versus Stone Cold match that we've seen. And not the highest rated Stone Cold match, obviously. We've had some great matches with Dude Love, Bret Hart. You know, with that said, we got Bret Hart watch along coming up in a couple weeks when JV goes to Bermuda. You're going to Bermuda, right? Bermuda?
No, Aruba.
Aruba. Not bad. All right, so when you go to Aruba, we're going to be dropping that episode on May 15th. Watch along, Survivor Series 96, Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. All right, so now as this match wraps up, you have The Undertaker. He's going to grab the championship belt, and he hands it over to Austin. I guess they kind of think like, oh, what's he going to do with the belt? To me, it never looked like he was going to hit him with it.
No, it didn't.
And it didn't feel like he was going to hit him with it because he had already become like a babyface in this match again.
Yep.
So to him hit him, that would have been stupid because it just didn't make any sense because going into the match, he's a heel. And then to have this spot at the end where it's a tease, well, it shouldn't be a tease. We should expect him to hit him because he's a heel. But he's not anymore. So to just go back and forth and flip-flop like that would just piss me off. You know, to have him go in the match as the heel, but during the match now he's babyface, and then he's going to turn heel again at the end of the match. That's fucking dumb. So I'm glad they didn't do it. I'm glad they did it the way they did. He hands the belt over. JR says that takes a hell of a lot of class. That's a man's man. And then the Taker walks off. But then Kane comes back as Austin celebrates. And they both just stand there and they're looking at the rattlesnake. They're just staring off at him as the show comes to a conclusion. And that's it. that wraps up our Highway to Hell, SummerSlam 98. That leads us now to our wrap-up. So let's get right into it. We got a house show rundown. This one's quick. There's only 2 house show appearances by Austin. On August 21st, 1998, in Long Island, Steve Austin defeated Kane and The Undertaker. Pat Patterson was guest referee. And the next day, August 22nd, in Albany, New York, Austin defeated Kane and The Undertaker by pinning Kane after a stunner. What do you got for the oh hell yeah moment of the week, JV?
Oh hell yeah moment. I actually have Austin retaining against Taker, so the payoff here.
I got the same exact thing. Yep. This match, the whole match was hell yeah to me. Right from the start of it, when he had that collision, it just set it up as being like, oh fuck, we don't know what this match is going to be now. This is like no holds barred now, and this is unpredictable now. So things change at that point. The match isn't what it was supposed to be, so that made it pretty cool and exciting to watch. I mean, they knew what the plan was, where they were going to go with it, but they're not going to execute it exactly the same. So it's nice to see like that happen. You got to roll with the punches. Something happens, you need to make adjustments right in the here and the now. You can't say, "Oh, hold on, guys, we got to go to the back and talk about this. We'll have this match in 5 minutes." No, you got to fucking keep rolling on. So, hell yeah, right there with that match. Okay, hell no.
The oddities match.
Yeah,
that's my hell no.
Damn, you keep stealing shit from me. Okay, I'll get my oh hell no. Fucking Double J being Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
All right, yeah,
that's my hell no. Fuck Double J with his fucking little buzzers. It has nothing to do with him. Like, just doesn't fit. I feel like if you have a gimmick, you need to have everything match your gimmick. You don't fucking sell Michelangelo toys with katanas. He only has nunchucks. Double J, you have a guitar. You don't have fucking hedge clippers or fucking buzzers. Stick to your toys. Stick to your gimmick. Bring out your damn guitar. Whack people over the head with that. Why are you cutting their hair now? Don't piss me off. Freaking done pissed me off. Oh, hell no. Fuck Double J. Right. Ooh, I guess I'm getting tired here. All right. Now, next week on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, that's May 1st. It's going to be episode 32. We'll be covering September of 98. And not sure exactly what goes on in September 98 because I haven't watched ahead yet. And I know Breakdown pay-per-view is coming up soon, but we're not covering anything from Breakdown yet because we're only covering some Raws. What happens in these 3 weeks coming up. And the night after SummerSlam, there's no Raw. Okay, Raw is going to be on Saturday the following week. So that's going to be on September 5th. And then it's taped again for the following Saturday on September 12th. And then finally Raw is back on September 14th, halfway through the month. So I don't know what was going on Mondays. I don't know if there was a dog show back or what the hell was going on. Okay, but that's next week, September 98. Okay, also, got some podcast pals that I want to shout out. Got Talking Taker. Okay, take a listen to Alex Dorio as he breaks down what Talking Taker is all about.
Dead man walking.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, Stone Cold fans? This is Alex Dorio, one of the hosts of Talking Taker. And along with my co-host and fellow creature of the night, Travis White, we are digging up the career of the dead man, one pay-per-view match at a time, on a podcast journey that's a lot like what you're listening to right now on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. So if you're enjoying what Mike and JV are doing here, going through the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, come check us out as we explore The Undertaker's 3 decades of destruction. We're right in the midst of the Biker Taker era right now, so you can jump right in or start over from the beginning and hear us discuss The Undertaker's side of the story from his many battles with the Rattlesnake, The Rock, Mankind, and more. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, YouTube, Spotify, and more. And you can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Talking Taker. Thanks to Mike and JV for letting us plug the show, and take her easy. What? I said, take her easy.
All right, so definitely take a look at Talking Taker. If great collection of episodes already going through the career of the dead man, who we just had a couple months of the dead man that we've been talking about here. So go back and take a look at their perspective. Maybe go back to their episode of SummerSlam '98, see what they had to say about this match and the build up to it. Yeah, but this week what they're covering is Vengeance 2002 from July of 2002, and it's going to be Undertaker versus The Rock versus Kurt Angle. So check out Talking Taker, and also check out our friends from Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast with Mike Mills, Doc Turner, and Hard Body Hopper, as they go through they go through the NWA World Championship Wrestling Saturday Night Show, the old TBS show from the 6:05 slot. They cover that from 1985 all the way to the point where they are just about to go into 1988. They are at December 26, 1987. And then they also do another show, that first NWA show that gets released on Thursdays, every Thursday. But on Sundays, they release the episodes of Smoky Mountain Wrestling, where they review the great promotion, the great indie promotion that was created by Jim Cornette. And they are almost done with that. They've gone through 140 episodes, and this week is episode 140, and it's October 1st, 1994. So definitely check out Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast.
Hey, before you leave, hey!
Okay, you can help us out by following us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, spread the word, tell your friends all about us. And if you have wrestling fans, tell them, oh, there's this cool podcast I listen to, two guys from Massachusetts. It's called the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, and they break down the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, so you'll definitely want to check that out. So tell all your friends about it. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play, Radio Public. And if you want to follow us personally, I'm Mike Prue at MPRU83, and JV is at John Van Damage. And again, follow us on Twitter at BottomLineCast. If you like what we're doing, if you're on iTunes, please leave us a review. It'll help us out. It'll help spread the show. So definitely consider that 5-star review, maybe even a write-up too. That would be very much appreciated. So thank you guys for listening. JV, any last words before we head out?
No, I don't have any.
All right, so the highway to hell is over, and we're out of here. So long, guys. See you next week.